All right, welcome back to WMAC Now with your host Chuck Stevenson, coming at you with a fight review. So we're going to Saitama, Japan for RIZIN number 38. We're going to the super atomweight division. Ayaka Hamasaki coming in at 24-5, taking on Shiyu Park coming in at 8-4. Now this was a semifinal bout in the 2022 RIZIN super atomweight Grand Prix. Hamasaki made it through the quarterfinals by defeating Jessica Aguilar. Park made it through by defeating Kana Asakura in a bit of an upset. But also, this bout had a lot of interesting things going into it. You know, you had the classic Japan versus Korea rivalry. Hamasaki the Japanese, Park the Korean. But also because Park used to train and used to be like the main training partner of Sahi Ham, who had a long-running rivalry with Hamasaki, with Hamasaki beating Ham twice, and then most recently, Ham beating Hamasaki at New Year's Eve on 2019 for the RIZIN Atomweight Championship, and then leaving RIZIN to go to one. So this was sort of like a proxy, or like a revenge by proxy bout for Hamasaki. So this had a lot of interesting things going into it. Anyway, let's get into the bout itself. So first round, you know, Hamasaki worked the jab early. Park was working her low kicks. Both fighters being careful. Park got a right cross. Hamasaki moved to counter. And then Hamasaki got a knee single leg takedown. But Park immediately started up kicking and then got up in the corner to the clinch. And then Hamasaki broke it off with a nice right hook. Really nice way to break off the clinch. Park slipped, but immediately up kicked to Hamasaki to create distance to get back up. And then Hamasaki had a right hook, and then Park landed a middle kick, and then there was a big Park 1-2. So really close first round there, both fighters having their moments. Excuse me, second round started, and both fighters started trading more early in the second round there. Hamasaki tried to take down, but got rebuffed by Park, and then a right high kick lands for Park, and then it was like a grazing right high kick, almost like a snap kick. And Hamasaki just blazed forward in response with a flurry to the clinch. And then they kind of bounced off the ropes, and Hamasaki kind of like pulled Park into her guard. But Park didn't stay down there for more than a couple seconds. You know, she stood up and out. And then both started throwing heavy low kicks. Especially they started trading to the calf a lot in this fight. A lot of the low calf kicks being thrown. Combo lands for Park. And then, you know, the fight started turning into a chess match. Both were looking for openings, but, you know, they were giving few. But as the round wore on, Park started landing more and then backing out fast. I mean, it was just, she was in, landing a few strikes, and then backing out fast. Hamasaki started holding her left arm funny, and she started switching stances a couple times, and I thought at first maybe it was because of the low kicks, but I think it was also because of the arm in hindsight. Park started chasing, landing big punches in the closing seconds. So it seemed like the fight was going more Park's way as it went on. So third round, both went out and, you know, at each other heavy to start the final round, trading punches, and Park was really loading up on her kicks. And then suddenly a big Park right hand dropped Hamasaki in the corner. Park stood over her a little bit, threw a few kicks to the legs, and then, you know, gave her enough distance for Hamasaki to get back up. Hamasaki shot for a takedown. Park basically just backed right up and away. And then right middle kick by Park, and then a right hand. Then about halfway through the round at this point, and Park just has the range and timing. Hamasaki just can't seem to find her in this third round. Park was just too fast. Then the referee stopped it for a short break. Seemed like Hamasaki might have gotten poked in the eye there. Couldn't really tell. Like there wasn't a replay or anything that showed it. But after the restart, Hamasaki was really favoring her left arm in this round. Even the commentators noticed it. There was a body kick by Park, then a low kick, and then a front kick. And Hamasaki's just absolutely slowed down. Like last minute of the fight, she's barely throwing anything. And then Park threw a high kick, and she slipped and fell to her butt, but was right back up. And that was basically the end of the fight. So it went to the judges, and all three saw it in favor for the winner, Shiyu Park. And my reaction to this was wow. Like the first time I watched the fight, I could barely watch it because I was at work, so I was more listening. But watching the replay finally, wow. Like this fight started out close, but as the fight wore on, Park just started running away with it. Park's speed and strength, they were absolutely the keys in this fight. I mean, she was just too fast for Hamasaki, and almost everything she threw and that landed just was hurting her. Just the speed and the power of Park were just straight up too much in this bout. Now it turns out that Hamasaki did suffer a broken arm. She posted on Instagram. Most likely is from blocking one of those kicks to the middle. So hopefully she's able to recover from that. Best of luck to her in that. And then you have, the result and everything we saw. This makes you wonder, is this the end of the Ayaka Hamasaki era at middleweight? I mean, she's 40 years old. She has tons of mileage on her, tons of wear and tear. And her only recent wins, her two most recent wins were over fellow 40-year-olds. Emi Fujino and then Jessica Aguilar. And Aguilar was inactive for like 3 years. But her other fights besides that were the two fights against Izawa. She got absolutely demolished in the first fight and outclassed in the second fight. And then just absolutely got outworked and outclassed by Park in this fight. So this might legitimately be the end of the Ayaka Hamasaki era, which is sad to think about. However, can't take anything away from Shiyu Park. Her moving to Japan, and I've talked about this before, but her moving to Japan and training at Crazy Bee has been the best thing she could have ever done for her career. It allowed her to stay active by fighting in Japan. And, I've heard other people say this, and I agree. If Crazy Bee is good at teaching one thing, it is wrestling. And that has helped Park so much. Her takedown defense and her anti-wrestling has gotten so good. And she was already such a good striker that working on those made her that much more confident in her striking. So that move to Crazy Bee, moving to Japan and just staying there and training there full time, best decision she could have made for her career. Because if she stayed in Korea, she'd have been stuck probably not fighting for the last 2.5 years. So moving there was absolutely best thing she could have ever done. It has brought her up so far, such a long way. So let's talk things to work on for Park. All I'm going to say is keep improving on the things that she has already been improving on. She's about to fight another really great ground fighter in Seika Izawa in a rematch. She gave Izawa a tough time in the first fight, and I think she could give Izawa an even tougher time in the rematch. So keep working on the things that you've been working on. Keep making those improvements. I really don't have anything else for her to work on. For Hamasaki, she needs to remember her roots. She's a judoka. Go to the ground more. But also, and she did not really do this in this fight, she wasn't setting up her takedowns. She was just shooting for takedowns and not really going for the clinch at all. Not going for her clinch takedowns. Her clinch takedowns is what she's the best at. She's a judoka. Get to that clinch. Remember your roots and get to the ground. As for fights to make, okay, this is a tough one for Hamasaki. How about Hisae Watanabe? Both are absolute legends in Japanese women's mixed martial arts. But they're also both old and both over the hill. I think it would honestly be probably an easy fight for Hamasaki. But at this point, that's the type of fight she needs. She needs to just, if she's going to keep fighting these older fighters that are over the hill, same as she is. Because she's obviously on a decline. For Park, Well, her next bout is already decided. The other semifinalist or other winner of the semifinals is Seika Izawa. That's who she's going to face next on New Year's Eve in RIZIN for the Super Atomweight Grand Prix finals. Not a championship bout, as far as I know. It's just a bout for the Grand Prix finals. And I see a lot of people already counting Park out. And I think that's a mistake, because their first bout, it was close. It was close. I think under RIZIN rules, you could make an argument for Park to have won. But it was under a 10-point must system, and Park got penalized for a kick to the downed Izawa, which would have been allowed in RIZIN. So Izawa got the points and won. But also, it's going to be in a ring this time, and most people agree that the ring generally favors strikers over grapplers, and the cage favors grapplers over strikers. So this is going to be in a ring this time. So we'll see. I think people are counting Shiyu Park out way too early against Izawa, because both of them have made a lot of improvements. But I feel like Park is at the style now that is going to most give Izawa trouble. Anyway, those are my thoughts on this bout. RIZIN 38, Shiyu Park defeats Ayaka Hamasaki via unanimous decision. Let me know your thoughts on the bout in the comments down below. If you liked the video, please give it a like, share it as well. While you're at it, don't forget to subscribe to WMMAC Now, the best, most complete women's mixed martial arts dedicated platform on YouTube. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.